what does freedom mean to you, sir?
Freedom.
Yes, sir. When you talk about freedom, liberty, and independence, the differences between that, usually what you said is absolutely right. So, building upon what Nehru said, sir, what is your perception about the importance of freedom?
Trust with destiny.
Society imposes rules and regulations, and somewhere down the line, because of these rules and regulations, you dilute, you compromise on the freedom, and then it becomes a little bit difficult.
Definitely. In addition to that, freedom is essential for one's creativity to create something.
Because I'm asking this question in the context of the controversy that happened with Ranveer Allahabadia, Samay Raina, and you have this issue in front of the Supreme Court as well. So where do you draw the line, sir, in terms of artistic freedom?
So when that incident took place, Ranveer Allahabadia, if he had said the similar thing in the US.
I'm the master of my fate. I'm the captain of my soul. This is a line from a famous poem called Invictus, written by a great author, William Ernest Henley. Now, the spirit behind this line is freedom. On paper, in the present times, we have freedom. But when you look at this in a minute manner, when you observe people, you will realize we are not free. Rather, we are shackled. We are shackled in a way where we find comfort in servitude. We have a genuine sense of fear of responsibility, and we choose silence over participation. If we continue this trend of observing freedom in the world and also in our country, the gift of freedom for which we have fought very dearly in the past, it becomes a wasted opportunity. In this podcast, we are going to discuss our moral obligation and our moral duties to protect, preserve, and defend the freedom that is so very crucial for our present growth and also the future growth. Good morning, sir. It's nice to have you again. How are you doing, sir?
Very, very good morning. So I just had small cold, but now I am perfectly fine.
Bangalore weather.
Yeah. Weather, pollution, everything, yes.
Yes. So let's start with a very basic and simple question. What does freedom mean to you, sir?
Freedom.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So where do we start? Whenever people come with, essays, especially if they have written essay on freedom or truth or justice, the first thing I would like to do always, before defining a concept, we also should understand the differences between similar sounding concepts or similar sounding words. So before we want to understand freedom or what freedom means to me, so I want to be very clear about what is liberty and also what is independence. So we got independence from the British, and then we have in the preamble liberty, liberty of thought, expression, religion and worship and everything. And then in the Article 19, we have freedom. So various freedoms that are constitutionally granted under Article 19. So the word independence, you don't see it in the Constitution, but whereas we see liberty and freedom. So now the freedom is not there in the preamble. It is not freedom of thought or worship, right? So freedom is more personal, more individualistic. Freedom is something that is very innate, natural, a natural, seeking, natural desire of an individual to be free, right? It can be spiritually, so it can be in terms of who they want to be, the identity, everything. Liberty is more about, freedom from certain restrictions. Freedom to act in a manner according to rules, according to within the constitutional framework. So that is why we have liberty. So where it comes, the state has the control over one's liberty, and then we have positive liberty and negative liberty. So negative liberty is more about freedom from freedom from certain censorship, freedom from various restrictions, like free market economy and other things. So, but again, the positive liberty is more about one's capability, enhancing one's capability through basically a socialistic idea where the state intervenes and gives you lots of freedoms to develop your own capability, empower yourself. So independence from the state's perspective, you are not dependent, so you are independent. But within an independent state, you cannot claim I am an independent individual, right?
True.
So the state cannot say Karnataka state, no, we are a independent state, but definitely we are free state in a way, but not an independent state. So I think this clears that freedom is more personal, more individualistic. So for me personally, freedom is also combination of the certain ideas that are there in the liberty, right? A complete realization of one's full potential and free to be who they want to be. So for me, that is freedom.
So just to build up on that, when you talk about freedom, liberty, and independence, the differences between that, usually what you said is absolutely right. The students, when they write the essay, they don't try to differentiate between the terminologies and they take all terminologies in a synonymous way.
Correct.
So next time
They
onwards,
use interchangeably.
Next time onwards, when there is an essay where they're playing with words like this, so be careful. Try to find out the nuanced differences that exist. And just to contribute to the discussion we are having about freedom, I think freedom is a situation, at least for me, is where one person has the necessary free will to choose. There should be choices in front of
Now
them.
we are introducing two concepts here: free will and choices. Good.
Yes, sir. And when you talk about freedom, liberty, and independence, you told that we might be independent, but when we talk about having freedom from a personal point of view, it might not be there. I remember Rabindranath Tagore, in one of his poems, he says, I want to wake up into that heaven of freedom, where knowledge is free and accessible, where the world is not broken by narrow domestic walls, and where the head can be held high with a lot of pride. It's been so many years since we got independence. Many people think they have freedom, but have we built a society where these narrow domestic walls no longer exist, where our head is filled with pride and confidence and not fear? Like this, even when you look into the speech which was given by Jawaharlal Nehru when we got independence, he says, let me just quote what Nehru, the first Prime Minister, said: at the stroke of midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom. Now, this line is very important. This line is very crucial because here he brings the human spirit that we are enjoying and what is the role and interconnection it has with freedom as well. If there is no freedom, human spirit, life as we know or as we want can no longer be there. So building upon what Nehru said, sir, what is your perception about the importance of freedom from a human life or individualistic perspective, sir?
Dressed with destiny. I think when I was studying in Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, we had a chapter. I mean, we had that speech as one of the chapters in English book in 9th standard, I think. So that was our first introduction to the word tryst, TRYST at that time when we were in Navodaya school. And then I remember that line, we wake up to freedom and life, or life and freedom. That's for the vast people of India, the vast subcontinent of India. But as years passed on, when I started institution and political journey and everything, when started reading Ambedkar. So when you read about Ambedkar, so he was always a staunchly a free individual. He was for freedom. But what many people have thought about Dr. Ambedkar, the narrative is built upon him is that he worked in collusion with the British. He never was against the British or something. So that is nonsense in the way that Nehru, Mahatma Gandhi, like so many innumerable people fought against the British. So we got independence, but when Nehru speaks about the freedom, unfortunately, that freedom was actually not won by Indians, at least vast majority of Indians. So that is why Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, he will always be remembered, he will always be relevant because he was seeking the ultimate freedom. Right, freedom from the oppression, freedom from the caste system, freedom from every kind of restriction that existed. So that the British was not his ultimate problem. So the very lack of social democracy, right, lack of societal morality, right, the freedom from that restrictions. One, as you said, to exercise one's free will. Even there was lots of restrictions. Even today they exist in different forms. So ultimately, that is what the freedom, because an individual will always crave for that freedom, irrespective of how much free it looks outside, right? Lack of restrictions outside in the way that he may be free to move from here to Jammu Kashmir. He may be free to live in some other part of the country. But when you go and tell your caste that you belong to SC or you belong to Muslim, then there are people who are not going to rent out their spaces, right? So then again, there is it is again unconstitutional, but yet it is very difficult to go and fight against them in the court, right? So ultimately, removal of every such kind of restrictions, the absolute social democracy, right? I think that is the ultimate freedom.
As per you, sir.
Again, going beyond my first definition. So that was more individualistic. But again, it's also about one's dignity, one's free will, one's inner desire for fulfilling their capacities and capabilities.
Exactly, sir. Just to build on what you said, in terms of discrimination, yes, it existed prior to independence as well, and even now it exists in various latent forms. Now, for me, why is freedom so important for an individual? Because when one person has that freedom, he can think, he can achieve his dream, he can pursue his ambitions, and then he can realize what he wants. This is what psychologist Maslow also called it as self-actualization. That is important. And one more thing, why freedom is very important for an individual. When we are imposing rules and restrictions and certain customs and traditions forcefully on a person, that person, if he does not have critical thinking, might accept it at that point in time. And that is quite natural because no one is born with such critical thinking capabilities. However, when a person is growing and growing, and he's continuing still with the customs and traditions imposed by the society, there is every chance, there is every possibility that an individual might have existential crisis. Around 40 or 45 or even a little bit earlier as well, people might have doubts. Did I ever have freedom in my life? Did I ever think for myself? Am I being shackled? For me, if a person understands the concept of freedom, that is, for me, in my humble opinion, freedom is having the necessary free will. And if that person showcases that freedom in everything that they do, there is every probability that these existential crises might not be there. Not long ago, sir, just one of my friends got married. And ever since then, people are asking me, Umesh, when will you get married? When will you get married? I will get married when I want. End of story. Society imposes rules and regulations. And somewhere down the line, because of these rules and regulations, you dilute, you compromise on the freedom, and then it becomes a little bit difficult. For an individualistic growth, not just I'm talking about the physical aspect, the psychological well-being, freedom is very essential. It is the foundation on which we can build a dignified life. What do you think, sir?
Definitely. In addition to that, freedom is essential for one's creativity, to create something.
True.
Right. So that is how we fulfill our desires and ambitions. So a sculptor, if he wants to create a marvelous sculpture, right, so he needs to have that kind of freedom around him, Similarly, an artist, so a writer, a philosopher, maybe an activist also. We see that there are societal limitations, societal norms, the certain restrictions that also limit that freedom, hence the creativity. So the very progress of civilization, right? So that totally depends on individual freedom. And now again, you talked about free will earlier. So when I heard about that free will, there is a word is free will. There is a classic debate about free will,
Yeah.
right? Whether it is deterministic or probabilistic. So does free will exist or
Does not exist.
doesn't exist?
Are we all controlled by some supernatural force?
It is like there are many arguments. Our individual behavior, actions, decisions, right? Emotions. So they are already predetermined. I read it somewhere. Even Newton believed in that. Even Einstein believed in that. But again, someone says that there is no free will also, right? And then there is free will also. For example, the people who believe in quantum mechanics or Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, they say that there is some element of
Free
free will. Last time also I talked about one of the neuroscientist or psychologist, Sapolsky. So there is he's somebody who talks against free will. He says absolutely free will doesn't exist. So evolution has decided everything, in your genes, in your DNA, right? Everything is predetermined. So there are various debates. Now, where do you put, this? When are you really free? In a way that, the state, government, the government, state, authorities,
Family
whoever
as
they
well.
want, family, everyone might grant you absolute freedom. But are you really free? Right? That is also one of the deep philosophical questions. So I think these are the concept. So when it comes to essay, last time also I talked about, if the essay is about freedom, just don't go on writing about freedom. In the beginning, we differentiated between different concepts,
Liberty, independence.
and then introduce other related concepts also.
True, sir.
Now, freedom, creativity, maybe freedom and democracy, freedom and authoritarianism, freedom and communism, freedom, socialism, freedom, creative freedom, free will, and freedom and choices. You also mentioned the word choice, right? Do we really have choices, right? I mean, you may want to choose something, but are we given those choices, or do we have the capability to create those choices for ourselves? Another word, opportunities. So does opportunities exist, or can we create opportunities for ourselves? So you may be free, but if there are no choices and opportunities, so what are you going to do with the freedom?
You're just going to go with the flow, and you don't have any say in the process itself.
Correct.
More or less like what USSR was at one point in time, or China is even at this point in time. And sir, you made few good points in the last couple of minutes. The first thing that I want to ask, and this has created a lot of debate in the society as well, how much of freedom does an artist have? Because I'm asking this question in the context of the controversy that happened with Ranveer Allahabadia, Samay Raina, and you have this issue in front of the Supreme Court as well. So where do you draw the line, sir, in terms of artistic freedom?
So when that incident took place, Ranveer Allahabadia, if he had said the similar thing in the US,
Yeah.
it would have been absolutely fine. People would have laughed. People would have thought it's a very good joke or something. But in India, it is different. So now again, we need to introduce. We were talking about social norms and conditions, morality and all. So now we have to, I think, introduce the cultural aspects, right? So the very culture of the land. Again, we are multicultural society, so very vibrant society. So you have so-called very progressive, liberal thinking individuals, in cities. They can be anywhere, right? They may not be offended with the same joke, right? But I think they are in the minority, and then the vast majority. Now, on what basis you are going to say that they are opposed to this kind of joke? Is state going to decide and determine that the majority are opposed, or majority themselves expressing that such kind of jokes are antisocial or immoral or amoral, right? Now somebody can counter it. Okay, we have seen lots of comments on social media that condemning. Now
And they even issued threats to his family.
threats to his family, yeah. But again, who are these people? Who are these people who are there on the social media? So, do they represent the will of the majority, the opinion of the majority? Right. So, there are lots of questions and gray areas in these things. Then again, ultimately, a kind of sentiment that builds up against or in favor of these individuals. India is a society where perceptions can be changed. Right. Now he's perfectly doing good. I think he's continuing with the podcast.
Yes.
People are again watching. He's getting similar number of views. So it was only during that brief period of time, maybe 1 month or 2 months. All this took place. Right. So now, how do you link it with the freedom? And he had the freedom. He has the freedom, right? And then the courts intervened. Courts gave certain directives not to arrest him, right? And then again, it will take us back to the question that but he had the means to get the justice he wanted, right? But what about the other people? Those who do not have the means, right? In every day, there are Dalits who are beaten up for showing aspiration, making some comments, or riding a horse or something. But they don't have similar freedom, to access to justice and everything. So then again, there is lots of inequality also. And I always keep wondering about what is the relationship between freedom and inequality, or freedom and equality. Right. I ask this question to school kids wherever I go. So you have got freedom because of we became independent. But did that freedom bring you equality? Right. So this is again a very big question to me.
Right, sir. I'll just try to answer it from my point of view, sir. When we spoke about artistic freedom, now there is a philosophy called as art for the sake of life. For me, I fundamentally believe any artist has a responsibility towards the society. So I remember in this whole controversy, there were a few artists who said that artist as such has no responsibility whatsoever to the society. He is just trying to make people laugh. For me, that's not the case. I believe in the contrary argument, arts for the sake of life. So here, when you made the point, Ranveer Allahabadia, if we had made the joke in the US, then that would have been appreciated. Maybe some people would have laughed. Now, the freedom, artistic freedom, must be complemented with an understanding of the local culture. Within the local culture, he could have held a mirror, to what is happening in the society. We have had people like Birbal, we have had people like Tenali Ramakrishna who have showcased that artistic freedom complemented with a responsible understanding of the local culture can still bring about the laughter and necessary social change as well. And the second thing that you spoke about, in terms of independence, we've got the independence, but when you look at terms like equality, equity and everything, they're just on paper. They're not in reality. Now, for instance, when you spoke about Dalits getting beaten up, there are villages in our country, even to this day, where Dalits are not allowed to go inside the temple. With Dalits, if they're wearing shoes and walking in the village, they're beaten up. If they just serve ghee in their marriage occasions, then also they're beaten up. For me, at the end of the day, we've got independence, but to choose the choices that is there in
Choose
front
the
of us.
choices, and I would call it inequality in expression.
Right, sir.
Even when somebody wants to express something, there is so much of inequality. The expression, that you believe in certain faith, you believe in certain God. If you want to express that very feeling, there are limitations, there are restrictions, there are punishments also. And then at higher level, when you talk about an artist, right? So they are free to go wherever they want, right? But then again, when it comes to a podcast like this, so when they are making lewd comment, so-called immoral or something, then of course there are a variety of interpretations, objections, everything. Now, why I brought the inequality concept here, right? Now, when you think about artists, right? They are the conscience keepers, right? And to appreciate their art, to appreciate what they're creating, you need to have good education. You need to have higher taste. You need to develop. You need to be rich also in a way that you have traveled. You have read literature. You have got the necessary exposure. Now, when you say that it is cultural, right? Now, if you look at all the liberal people or liberal ideas or something, of course, it can be a Western idea or something, but it's more about appreciating the beauty around us, appreciating the freedom, appreciating individuality, right? Appreciating others' freedom, respecting others' freedom. So these all get stifled when you are the victim of inequality. In a way, you have to struggle every day just to survive, right? You have limited access to limited resources, and then you have to fight day in and out to make a living, build
Just
a
for
home.
roti, kapda, makan, most of the energy goes.
Now, where will they have time or time to think or develop critical thinking or time to appreciate? Because that is what Ambedkar said about villages. They are dens of ignorance, and he used, I think, many bad words there. So they are still today like that. So it is, I think, it is not the fault of the people, right? But if there was freedom with equality in terms of what the Constitution talks about, equality in its profound sense, equality in every sense. So if you had got that kind of equality, I think we would develop a sense of, true appreciation for the art and all forms of freedom, I think.
Exactly, sir. So, in terms of freedom of equality as such, if people are just following it on paper but not inculcating it, not internalizing it, then freedom as such has no meaning. And when freedom as such has no meaning, these type of social inequalities will continue, and the dignity of certain sections of the society will always be in danger. That is what is happening in multiple parts of the country. And also, if I look at the broader perspective, even in the world, when we talk about the Rohingyas, when we talk about the Tamilians in Sri Lanka, or when we talk about the minorities in Pakistan. So, my question to you is this: we have knowledge. And if you look into religion from the way it is supposed to be, the core aspect of religion, they don't talk about inequalities as such. They don't talk about discrimination as such. Despite education, despite being religious as such, why are we failing to recognize the importance of freedom? Why is it that we are not giving this privilege of freedom to someone else? Why are we so controlling in nature, sir?
Yes. When you talk about religion and certain privileges and freedoms, so we have this VVIP culture to take the darshan of God in our country. In almost every temple, some elite temples also, right? And we have seen that whether you go to Tirupati or Ayodhya, you need some people have more access to God. Some people have more near access to God. You can go to God so near and take His blessings and darshan. Now these privileges and entitlements, do they increase in your authority and power, or they increase with your responsibility? Right. So now, India within democracy, we see that those who are in power, those who are in the positions of influence, maybe they're big businessmen, right? They have lots of money. They can donate lots of money, and they may be celebrities also. They may not be in power, but they are celebrities. So we have within our broader culture, this culture of worshipping rich people and worshipping powerful people, right? So I think though again we got independence and freedom, somewhere this mentality of subservience,
Servitude.
right? Servitude. So mentality where maybe slave mentality, maybe harsh word. I think that actually still exists.
Mm-hmm.
That again, I again link it with inequality, the kind of education they didn't get. So post independence. So I think vast majority of generation are kept in darkness, victims of inequality. So this allows this culture of entitlement, privileges. So it doesn't matter which religion. The religion may tell you that you are a free individual, you are free to do this, right? You are child of God, and this and that, everything. But when you have these systemic issues which are unaddressed, despite getting freedom and independence, I think this is going to widen only, right? So inequality will widen. This so-called privileges, very few people will go on centralizing and concentrating that wealth and power. So add to this the technology dimension. Again, we have smartphone, we have AI tools and everything.
So just to pause you over a bit here, when you spoke about freedom from its context in terms of moving away from power, moving away from inequalities, I remember in Annihilation of Caste, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he writes, if we are to preserve liberty, then we should not idolize a person way too much than what is required. When we look at the present society, you're either belonging to one group or not. If you have a contrary opinion, people will start using words like anti-national, which we have spoken about in the last podcast as well. The trend of servitude, the trend of idolizing a person way too much, be it in the domain of religion, be it in the domain of family, be it in any other societal domain, that has to stop. Because when that comes into picture, liberty, freedom, everything gets compromised. That is what I believe, sir. And when we talk about family as well, from a very young period, a father, mother, they try to control. I'm not saying that it is bad. Howsoever, when they try to control to such a large extent, students get conditioned, children get conditioned. And even in terms of classrooms discussions that happened when we were growing up in our schools, yes, there were certain teachers who encouraged us to showcase our opinions. They had given complete freedom. But that was not the case in each and every part of the education system. So when we make people question, when we give them that freedom to question things, the inequalities that you're talking about as of now, the structures of power that you're talking about as of now, those things will get dismantled naturally. What do you think, sir?
So there are two things, why we have this culture of worship, hero worship in India. So it is mainly, again, as I said, colonial mindset. And we try to see our own aspirations, our own goals, when they do not happen to us, occur to us, manifesting them in someone else. When we see someone else achieving that, somewhere we have this mentality, and again add to this this identity crisis also.
Yes, sir, true.
Right, and we have identity politics also in India, and caste identity, religious identity. Someone from my caste, my community. So when they become so prominent and powerful, so they become godlike individuals. So it can be any community in any part of India. So it has been there, that identity politics. And coming to another argument, now you talked about...
So just to build up on this, there was this essay topic in 2024. Nearly all men can face adversity. If you want to test the character of the person, give him power.
Correct.
Most of the times when hero worship happens and one or few individuals, they get so much of power, they systematically make sure that they do not give freedom for any other individuals to showcase their aspirations. For instance, in politics itself, now you will have one leader for a particular community as such. If there are any budding aspirants, right, this particular person who has been there in that community for decades together might not give the necessary freedom for others to emerge. It might be family members, and this continues.
There is an interesting take, my own take about how this freedom is curtailed.
Yes, sir.
right? So it is curtailed by granting positive liberty to the people. Now you might ask, like, how, what do you mean by that? I mean, I'm sure you understood that. uh, for example, a positive liberty, as like in the beginning we defined, it's more about like right to education. Okay, we are giving you education, free education. We are giving you all free stuff, freebies, guarantee schemes. We have these empowerment schemes, poverty alleviation schemes. So forever people are now dependent on the government for, for their own livelihood, or realization of their aspirations. So you are creating dependency on one way. It can be talked from that or interpreted from that sense. Another way is how the state, or some powerful people, those who are in power, how they maintain control. Maintaining control is again stifling or curtailing freedom of the individual. That is by bringing them to the fold of party ideology, bringing them to the fold of any ideology. It can be religious or anything. So when you bring people into the fold of certain ideologies, so that is on a massive scale. You are limiting their freedoms. So now they become biased, right? So you are introducing, you are injecting their minds with lots of biases, virus, right? And then again you develop cognitive biases, and that will again limit your freedom, because as I said earlier, creativity depends on almost absolute freedom. You have to be free. Now if you think certain ideology is wrong or bad, right, you will never enter that territory. You will never appreciate even that kind of alternative idea, or other narratives or something. So this is how those who are in power ensure that both the concentration of power happens by ensuring that the freedom of the people is curtailed. And the thing is that people won't realize this.
Yeah.
No, you will never realize this, that your freedom is
Being curtailed.
curtailed.
True, sir.
And why you don't realize is that again, going back, you are not getting kind of education, the kind of culture around you, where for example, I was again going back to Noam Chomsky, right? So I was listening to one of his videos. He made a very extreme statement. Said nowadays, it was 12 years ago, nowadays teenage girls on Saturdays and Sundays, weekends, when they have freedom, they will never visit library. They will go to malls or movies or fashion shows or something like that. Now people don't go to library.
True.
Right? People don't have library in their homes. Right? You don't appreciate literature. You don't go to literary fests. But again, literary fests nowadays, they are becoming vibrant. But again, it looks vibrant.
And
but
it is becoming more of an entertainment exercise, even literature
exactly,
festival these
entertainment.
days.
Now again, introduce, and again, now why? This capitalism, the advertisements, right, marketing, everything has limited your mental faculties, your ability to think, your ability to act, and your ability to take certain decisions, right? So this product is good for you, go for it, right? So this idea is good for you, go for it. This institution is good for you, go for it. So earlier, like again, he was saying that before 70s, that kind of marketing, the way it is done, everywhere we see advertisements, right? Luckily, we are not doing this podcast, I mean, it's not sponsored by anyone. We are not putting any logo of anything here. Now you see that, it is done in a very nuanced way, subtle way. It is there, like marketing. Right?
You take politics, you take media, there is a good chunk of corporate element into it, even in media. When you take politics as
Another
such,
excellent point.
Right,
When media controlled by,
corporate elements, when we take politics and most of the politicians these days, the people where they're MLA as of now, if they don't want to be an MLA, they want the ticket to be given to someone in their family members.
within family.
And the people who are following them, with all due respect to them, what is preventing these common people from becoming an MLA there itself? That is the basic set of question that one needs to ask. We should break away from this condition.
I faced this situation, so I have thought about it. Why the common man, be in whichever party's fold, why do they lack courage to question it?
Yes, sir.
Right? Then they say party is mother. Right?
But we can criticize our parents as well. There's nothing wrong.
That culture is not there. The internal party democracy, internal democracy within the political parties. So then the people are told, you go and vote for your party. Right? Go. It doesn't matter which individual. So there are people in our constituency. I've heard people saying, katte nintru vote activi. Even if donkey is given ticket from my party, I'm gonna vote that donkey. So there are people so hardwired, in their thinking. So now they will not appreciate a good individual, somebody who may liberate them in a way that give them good education, bring them good development in terms of everything, opportunity, choices, which we were talking about. So that is the tragedy we have in our society, not just in India. It's everywhere. There are so many forces have come together. And I was about to talk about technology also. Now the technology is also limiting our freedom. So technology, in fact, should have been the force which should have liberated us totally. Now people often quote, Me Too campaign, right? Women becoming free using technology. Absolutely right. Now there is an avenue, there is a platform to express yourself. It has freed, right? It has given freedom to vast majority of the people. But at the same time, there are algorithms, that limit your freedom, right? So your voice is heard when it has to be heard. Right, only when it serves the power. Right, so these are the things that are happening. It can be you can pay if you have more money, you can make that trending in a day. So you are doing you are asking for justice, you are seeking justice, but somebody who has more money can create some hashtag, some purpose, spend huge money, and push your campaign to the bottom and make entire day their topic trend across. That is how we see few things becoming sensational, trending for few days and weeks, because those who have capacity to spend money. And in comment section also one can send an army and so-called toolkit or whatever it is, right? So you can push people to do that, create narratives and all. So freedom, I think, is the biggest victim of technology and all the things that are happening around us, capitalism and that.
Right. The reason why we are having this conversation about, let us say, politics, or we also brought media into the picture is, if you look at your UPSC essay paper since 1993, I can think of 3 essays where we can bring what we have just discussed. For example, in 1998, there was an essay topic, the misinterpretation of freedom by youth in our country. So when you go for hero worship, when you have this belief that I'm going to vote for this donkey, even if my party gives that donkey a ticket, you're just giving up your freedom, you're just giving up your free will, and you're becoming blind participants.
You're becoming donkey.
On top of that, not long ago, there was one more essay topic, a society which emphasizes on its privileges rather than principles will stand to lose both. Now, my dear friends, freedom comes with certain principles. For example, having respect for the freedom, for the free will of others. At the same time, it comes with developing a healthy sense of tolerance. If someone, let us say a person from the lower section of the society, is showcasing their ambition, it is not necessarily because that person has taken the benefits of reservation. It could be other things as well. Give them the necessary opportunity. Try to understand them. Try to empathize with them. I'm going back to what Rabindranath Tagore told. We have independence as of now, but are we living in a world where there is true freedom as such? I don't think so, because there are so many narrow domestic walls which is preventing this from happening. Now, for freedom to have any meaning, there needs to be healthy debate, a constructive debate. And media plays a prominent part in this regard. It becomes a voice for the voiceless. Sir. So, in your opinion, does media have freedom in our country? What do you think, sir? I know it's a
used
controversial
to,
topic.
yeah, it used to have that kind of freedom. Now they absolutely lack that freedom. Everything is driven by advertisements, marketing. The big people in India, big business people in India. So-called Ambanis, Adanis. Not only them, regional level also in Bangalore. There is a big business people. They control regional channels, national channels. They have huge stakes. They give directives to editorial board. What should be telecast on a daily basis. So there is no freedom to media. There is no journalism. Journalism is different. Media is different. So journalism is completely dead in this country. Right? Nobody goes to fields. Nobody goes to people and make stories. Showcase what it is almost gone. Right. So it's all about they say what people want, but again what people want is also somebody is deciding, and then it is served, right? So you create that expectation, and then you serve that expectation. Even there is also lack of free will in people, because you bombard them with something everywhere, right? Maybe from print media perspective there is some journalism maybe, but electronic media, I think I totally believe that is completely gone. Fourth pillar, so-called fourth, it doesn't exist anymore. It's a very extreme statement, but I believe, because you see day in and out the kind of stories, the kind of narratives. I think you see someone is controlling it.
They used to push narratives such as UPSC jihad, which even Supreme Court said, come on, what are you doing?
Correct.
Right, sir?
So that is one aspect. While you were talking about, I was just thinking again, because you talked about UPSC topics. There was another UPSC topic. One of the last freedoms when an individual has is to choose his own attitude.
Yes.
One of the last freedoms. The last freedom, right? Forget about freedom, given or sanctioned by government or whatever, whoever it is. The freedom that you have, last freedom, is to choose your own attitude. Again, who you want to be. So I think that last freedom also doesn't exist in this country in the context of the media we are talking about. It is also defining one's identity, shaping one's identity by controlling their opinions, by manipulating their opinions, right? So I say where there is constant crisis everywhere, and the way they are projected, the way they are interpreted, the way they are told as stories to the people. So I think it is difficult to choose your own attitude also, right? Who you want to be, you're so confused, right? So again, it's not because of the existence of a vast number of choices. That would have been a good case. You have choices, then you do it. But it's mainly because of the issues that are you confused, like which one to escape, right? The negativity, lots of negativity. So you want to escape. You want the better option, right? All other options look like poor or bad, or confusing or something. So lastly, I would like to say, again, this is unrelated to the argument we are currently having, the discussion we are having. With respect to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and Mahatma Gandhi, there was a question in the UPSC also. So in the context
I
of
think paper one, I guess, not
in the context of India's struggle for independence. So I'd like to make a statement here. When everyone else fought for independence, Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar fought for freedom.
I don't think it is unrelated as such. There is a lot of importance of the
Everyone
statement.
fought for independence in a way that his understanding of independence, it was profound in the sense that he fought for the freedom.
He was visionary in that particular regard, because again, going back to the UPSC essay topic, there is a very beautiful topic. Visionary decision making happens at the cross section of intuition and
At
logic.
the intersection of
Intuition and logic. Baba Saheb in his life, for him, just winning independence from the Britishers in itself was not enough. For him, he wanted that freedom from all the shackles which was binding a good number of people in the country. It's not just about the lower sections, it was also about women. And to be fair, there were few more reformers, few more freedom fighters who did speak about it. But the extent to which that he went about to take on all the people who were criticizing him left, right, and center, that takes a lot of courage to be alone, to
No,
take on the
the
whole world,
understanding
to
of
take on the whole country as such.
understanding of true nature of freedom, understanding why it was essential, necessary. Uh, I think that gave him that moral courage, to oppose whether Mahatma Gandhi or Nehru or even the Congress party at that time. So I think the biggest forces at that time. So I think that kind of understanding of freedom is what every Indian, requires today to develop that kind of moral courage, to speak truth to the power,
Yes,
to
sir.
seek justice, to fight for the justice.
And even if you are in a system where you have freedom, howsoever, the same freedom is not there for others, developing the necessary empathy and compassion to be the voice of the voiceless, that is something that I think we need to develop. So, I have a question for you. Now, we were speaking about media, we spoke about Indian politics, and if you look at the family structure as well, there is a rising tendencies of honor killing, where the freedom for their son or daughter to marry whom they want is not there. Now, is there a system flaw that exists in our society, in the whole country as such? Is there a system flaw? And can we ever dream to have that freedom to break this, or at least to tweak the system wherever necessary within constitutional parameters, so that there is genuine freedom for everyone at all levels of human life? What do you think, sir?
Definitely, there are flaws in our society. Honor, respect, and dignity, they are linked with the kind of status they have in a village. Again, linked with the caste. So these linkages, with the certain identities. So they're narrowly defined. So there is narrow understanding of one's honor and respect and everything. So they don't transcend these restrictions and limitations. So they're born and they are grown in that very restrictive environment. So it is narrowly defined. Now, honor killing, to preserve one's honor, they are killing their
Own
daughter.
children, sir. Own children.
Own children. That's what. Now the
I
life would
I
take.
still cannot understand how a father or a mother who brought their children to the world can kill their own children. I mean, it's something beyond my imagination.
No, that's what we should be worried about. How deeply rooted, these senses of honor and these things, and
And the
with the
tendency
caste
to
identity.
control. The tendency to control, it
That
exists.
is again patriarchy.
deep
I mean,
rooted.
again, that is another biggest social evil that still we have. No socio-religious reformers were able to fight against this patriarchy. So this again, this is in a way maintained, carried forward through the politics of the day, through politicians also. Then their ideas and ideologies. So we see it, visible everywhere. You go to any party function, on the dais you will see that, and any function for that matter. So you will see these kind of people, these kind of stereotypes perpetuated, and this patriarchy, is kind of sometimes invisible also. It is there. It is not visible also. So I think the constitution alone is not sufficient. That is why social democracy, societal morality, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar was so much worried about it. So I have carried forward this cart, I mean, Theru, Ratha, right? Till here, it is your responsibility to, pull it forward, carry it forward. So not let it slip backward. So he expected that to happen, post-independence. But again, the politics, the kind of developmental idea, the kind of policies. So they were focused more on industrialization, building dams, or something like that. But at the grassroots level, right? So we got this Panchayat Raj so late, right? So not immediately after independence. And the idea of decentralization was so much delayed, and giving quality education at grassroots level, developing. So that should have been our priority. So that would have been built up. It would have taken around 40-50 years for us, if that kind of education. That kind of education, the education which would have opened the minds of the people, right? So why we have generations where we have where they punish their kids for taking for expressing their freedom of choices? So it is because those generations have suffered. So they didn't get the kind of exposure, the kind of education,
They're
the
in their own
progressive
trauma as
education.
such.
Yeah, the development also, right? So the villages should have been developed in a holistic way. So I think that would have definitely solved the problem.
So when we speak about that fundamental system change, be it in village, be it in even in urban areas, I feel people should invest in their attitude. And here, one more person that is not recognized from the history happens to be Bhagat Singh. Now, Bhagat Singh, when he spoke about Inqilab Zindabad, long live revolution. So we need to have an attitude. One of the last freedoms that UPSC spoke about. We need to develop that strong positive attitude based on a fundamental belief and value system where questioning becomes natural, where questioning is not labeled as anti-national and things like that. Once we start doing that, we might bring about the necessary system change. And we take Gandhi, we take Ambedkar, we can take Deen Dayal Upadhyay. They all spoke about decentralization as such, giving power to the grassroots and giving power not only in terms of 73rd and 74th Amendment Act on paper, but genuine power. Once we start giving them genuine power, I think the system, it will bring about the necessary empowerment that we seek, or we can also find ways to change the flaws that exist in the system. On top of that, sir, there is this very famous poem that I remember, and just two lines from that poem. वो जिस्म भी क्या जिस्म है जिसमें ना हो कौन है जुनून, क्या लड़े तूफानियों से जो साहिल की कश्ती में है. Meaning, these two lines, they were made very famous by Ram Prasad Bismil. Now, as a human being, you need to have a positive spirit, a revolutionary spirit to ensure that freedom, true freedom, exists in each and every aspect of human life. Not only for yourself, but for every other human being on this planet, in our country. When you lose this spirit, freedom as such is just a dead nail on someone else's coffin. We need to invest on the spirit, sir. And one more thing, you have been in the education domain for quite some time. Now you're into politics as well. When the freedom is taken away from people, let us say we are imposing demands on boys, we are imposing restrictions on women, in a way taking away freedom. People are affected. UPSC itself has asked a question: boys have demands, women have restrictions, both equally harmful disciplines. Sir, in your opinion, based on your interactions with multiple kids over the years, multiple students over the years, what has been the greatest drawback when freedom is taken away from them, sir? Greatest drawback.
So the greatest implication, the impact.
Yes, sir.
So when the freedom is taken away.
Yes, sir.
So what I've seen is that the greatest impact, the negative impact, when one's freedom is taken away, instead of thinking from that individual perspective, I would think it is a national loss. That our aspiration of becoming $5 trillion or even whatever our aspiration, that is so much stifled, curtailed, restricted at an individual level. So when you restrict their freedom, whether their choice of UPSC, becoming a sports person, becoming a musician, actor, dancer, or a businessman, so you have killed, right, their chance to contribute to the nation building through their own individual industriousness, creativity. They would have created something. Now, by stifling that, you are pushing them towards underemployment or some kind of manual stuff, where they have huge potential, because once that desire to achieve something big had entered their mind, that is the realization that they have the higher potential, right? So now you are not giving wings of freedom, to that higher aspiration. So when you limit their freedom, so you are suppressing it, and that is one way you are not allowing them to contribute. Secondly, the kind of mental toll it takes on these individuals, that again has a huge cost, right? So I've seen people becoming unfortunately like depressed, addicts also, and then rare cases, antisocial elements,
Just today in the morning, sir, in Indian Express,
committing suicide and all.
there was an article since you brought mental health. 14% of world's population, nearly billion people, are suffering from mental health. Now, one of the possible reasons could be the freedom that they wanted in their life, maybe from the childhood days, maybe in terms of educational institution, is not being met. It's inadequate. Just wanted to give this data so that it might help some students in the process.
Correct. So there is no freedom to mind in this country, in a way that the kind of education system, as soon as you enter 10th standard, 11th and 12th, so no, you totally stay away from all extracurricular activities, creative exercises, recreation. So you are in a jail, right? So you are in a jail. You are put in a jail. There is limited resources, limited chances, and this aspiration, right? But what are you doing about it? So you're in a rat race, in a huge competition. But then again, when you don't crack that exam, then again you are given another chance, freedom, right, to pursue it. Again, when that doesn't happen, then again, you choose less better option or something, as I was discussing earlier. So I think this over a period, I mean, somebody might ask, like, those who are watching, what about UPSC examination? So I've been telling, after 2 years, you exit.
Yes, true.
Right. So prepare and enjoy this preparation. Understand constitution, understand society, appreciate art and culture, history, read literature. I feel this UPSC preparation is one of the most wonderful phase in one's life, if they see it from that perspective. I enjoyed, I used to read Tolstoy books, Dostoevsky books. I used to read Charles Dickens, all classical, Franz Kafka, and V.S. Naipaul books, Salman Rushdie books, Amitav Ghosh books. So when I was preparing for this exam, and I failed because I was reading so much, I think I was ahead of my time. At that time, 2005 to 10, the questions were predictable, not philosophical or something like that. So, but I had that test, but that ultimately saved me. I became more sane and more wise, and I was able to become more creative or something like that. So that freedom was given to me by my father. He never questioned me, why you are leaving this job. I left 2 to 3 jobs, 3 jobs. So I left 3 courses midway, post graduation. He never asked me a question, right? So I think I tell the same thing to people who can be parents, especially. Give them freedom. So give them, let them change the course, right? Success is possible when you give them freedom. Freedom not to just to pursue one course of action, to change the course of action also, right? So then they'll become, more successful individual. I mean, all greatest success stories are like that. You made a choice here, maybe you didn't like it, you lacked passion, and then you developed new passion. To develop, we have to keep developing new passions. So that is a freedom we should be, looking at, and to be given to the people.
Just 2 points to add to this. When I look at the students who have not been given freedom in terms of their choices and everything by their family or any other factors, I feel they have this perpetual sense of inferiority or confidence issues. They are very talented, but when they do not have that confidence as such, this impacts their UPSC preparation, and it also has a larger impact on how they look at life. This is something that needs to be removed. And the second thing, the greatest implication when we are imposing so much of demands and restrictions on boys and girls at the end of the day and taking away their freedom, it just does not make them happy. The point that you are making about mental health issue, it's absolutely true. The parents, where necessary, should be giving them freedom, should be giving them the opportunity to fail. Because if you take 2025 essay paper, there was this beautiful essay topic: best lessons are learned through bitter experiences. So when you give freedom to a boy or a girl, they might fail. It might lead to a bitter experience, but nevertheless, they can learn from it. And that is the greatest duty or the greatest ecosystem that parents also have to ensure for their students. And on top of that, when we talk about the people who are watching as of now, the students who are watching as of now, what will be your advice for them to make this freedom not just a theoretical concept, but a lived reality as per you, sir? The final question.
So you earlier mentioned about Bhagat Singh. So I tell everyone that be Bhagat Singh, Inqilab Zindabad. You have to become rebel. You have to rebel against everything, whether parents, relatives, the system around you. If someone is curtailing your freedom, move away from there. Move away from there. Come to big cities. Go to big cities. If you have, it can. I'm not just talking from the UPSC perspective. Any individual who is dreaming big, I think you have to chase your dreams. So don't let, again, there is going to be a phase of struggle, humiliation, insult. Be ready for it. And they will all grind you. They will all prepare you for bigger challenges. So you have to develop that courage, right? So you have to become courageous. So otherwise, lifelong regret is going to be there, and then you are going to impose that on your children, and then you are limiting their freedom. You are limiting their choices. This becomes perpetual. Society suffers, nation suffers.
Absolutely, sir. Now, when you look at freedom, it's not something which is granted by some political party, some polity, some constitution as such. Freedom is something that, what Sir told in the beginning, it is your inner journey. It's your inner passion. And you need to have the courage to wander. No matter what the society says, whether you're lost or not, whatever the society says, you need to have the courage to wander away and find the freedom that you seek so very much. And on top of that, freedom demands sacrifice. We need to sacrifice those negative cognitive biases that we have against someone else, against some community, or against our own family members, or against our own self. Freedom demands sacrifice. We need to develop the tendency to sacrifice where required. Rick, a great thinker, he very famously told, true success requires sacrifice. We are at the crossroads as of now. When you look at the world, USA wants to control India, China wants to control India, Russia in its own way also wants to control India. We are living in a society where everyone wants to control us. And at the end of the day, as we have discussed, when someone wants to control us, maybe at that point in time, you might enjoy it, but eventually you're going to have regret. Be a rebel. Make sure that Sarfaroshi ki Tamanna, the poem which was made very famous by Ram Prasad Bismil, that revolutionary spirit is always there in you. That rebellious spirit is always there in you. Question the system, but question the system within constitutional boundaries. This is also important. I hope this podcast was of help to you. We have discussed quite a few essay topics. We have brought in quite a few concepts as well, and we will keep up this exercise. And we have truly enjoyed the kind words you have been sharing with us over the last couple of weeks. Thank you for your encouragement.
I was just thinking for the audience, we never mentioned the word love in the entire podcast. So now I want those who enjoyed this podcast, write in the comment section, what is the relationship between love and freedom?
This is an
let them
interesting
do
topic
it,
in
let them
itself,
do
sir,
it.
because if you start talking about it, it'll go on forever then.
Yeah, right. So thank you so much.